When it comes to the center, rat holes are hidden everywhere, so we proudly present top 10 best rat holes on the center. Coming in number 10, this first rat hole can be found at 15.3 latitude and 57.1 longitude, and then here it is on the map. Now this can be found on Lava Island. Now I'm going to admit this now, this rat hole is not the best. We're going to go in order from worst to best. This is just one of the okay rat holes, so if you're like a solo or maybe even a duo looking for a nice little starter place just to kind of hide away until you can find a better base location, this is definitely a good one for you. It does have two entrances, which is a bit of a downside. However, that entrance is pretty small. It's hard to get inside. But overall, it's not a bad area, and you can fit a decent amount of stuff in here. Anyways, let's move on to number 9. Coming at number 9, this next rat hole can be found at 92.9 latitude and 74 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found over in the redwoods, on the side of this, I guess you could call it a mountain or like a cliff or something. Anyways, again, this one is not going to be totally insane yet. I will admit, 4 to 1 insane, absolutely insane rat holes. So if you want to skip ahead and go check those out, they are insane. Anyways, as you can see with this first one, I decided to go ahead and put some foundation and some beds on it just to kind of show you guys the scale of the rat holes, because I've seen a bunch of comments about that. So from now on, I'm going to be doing that. Anyways, coming inside, it's a decent rat hole. Like, yeah, you got a little bit of room. It's nothing too crazy though. Nice and flat though, so that's always a good side. But yeah, overall, not a terrible rat hole. And coming at number 8, this next rat hole can be found at 38.2 latitude and 16.3 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found next to the Ice Palace. And it has been a while since I've said that. But yeah, anyways, the Ice Palace can be found kind of underneath. So if you go over near Green Knob and you go around all the way to the barrier, you can get underneath this that entire area, which is the Ice Palace area. Anyways, this rat hole is not too crazy. Nice little hidden spot that's super high up, which is definitely a good thing. It's going to keep a lot of people out for a little bit at least. I mean, the center has a lot of really good spots, but yeah, this one contains 2 rat holes actually. I showed the first one, and then this is the second one. Again, it's nothing too crazy, of course. However, it does work for maybe a solo or a duo looking to kind of get started. Again, you can't fit any Andy Forges or a Replicator in here. However, once cliff platforms come out, these locations are definitely going to get buffed quite a bit. Coming at number 7, this next rat hole can be found at 94.4 latitude and 52.1 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found over in the Redwoods area. This rat hole is one of the better ones, I'll just say that now. It's a little bit higher up on the cliff side, so it's a little bit more hidden, and not as many people are going to be finding you here. I would recommend trying to maybe stay inside the rat hole, but it is going to be a little bit difficult for just base defense, so you're going to have to build something outside. At least that's what I would do. Anyways, coming inside, as you can see, it's overall a pretty decent area. You have a lot of room to work with. I mean, it's not too big, but it's not too small. So, you know, solo, duo, or even maybe a trio tribe in here. You have a lot of flat area to work with. Overall, it's a pretty decent spot if you're looking to start out. I would definitely recommend building in here. So if it is not taken, definitely go take it. Coming at number 6, this next rat hole can be found at 37 latitude and 26.3 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found on the floating island. It is kind of on the side, a little bit underneath, but more on the side. Anyways, this one is actually a pretty decent rat hole. Now, I'm just going to say this now, this floating island is going to have a ton of rat holes, so if you don't like this one, just go look around. There's going to be a bunch of them. I haven't found them yet, but trust me, I will find them. Anyways, coming inside, now you have a good amount of area in this first little room, and then it kind of opens up into this like little overhang kind of thing, I guess you want to call it. And it's not a bad location at all. So it expands higher up. Only downside, I'm going to say this now, there's a mesh hole in the back. So unfortunately, it might get patched, or Wildcard will just patch that mesh hole. But at the beginning, I mean, for the next couple weeks to even maybe a month, it's going to be a buildable area until Wildcard patches it, if they even patch it. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't know. But yeah, it's not that flat in here, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to work with. But yeah, the mesh hole is a little bit higher up. I would just stay away from it. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad location at all. This video is sponsored by Mitra 9. Mitra 9 is a kava and kratom seltzer company that quite literally makes you feel good. My favorite flavor is tropical. Now, kava and kratom give you a similar effect to alcohol, just without the impairment. It's more similar to a high. Mitra 9 has really helped me get through long, stressful days. Use my code OUTCAST for 20% off at mitra9.com. Must be 18 or 21 in some states. Coming at number 5, this next rat hole can be found at 14.6 latitude and 57.9 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found over on the Lava Island. Now with this new update, Lava Island's going to have a lot more rat holes, so just keep on the lookout for this little area. But yeah, here's the rat hole. It's nothing too crazy. I mean, it's nothing too wild. However, the good side about this is that it goes super far back. So a downside is the lava right here. But that can also be a good upside if you know how to defend this properly, because that lava does damage you. However, you know, you can just spam some med brews and easily get in and out of here without any problems at all. But yeah, it goes up and then it kind of opens up into this nice little room right here, which keeps going back into this rat hole. So there's a ton of room in here to work with. It's not too big, so it's going to be tricky to kind of place things in here, but you can fit an indie forge in here. I know that. I believe right in here. But yeah, it's nothing too wild, but yeah, overall, it's not a terrible rat hole at all. Coming at number 4, this next rat hole can be found at 88.8 latitude and 79.8 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Alright, so now we're finally getting into some of the juicier rat holes, you know, some of the really good ones. Anyways, over here, as you can see, there are 2 waterfalls, kind of points out where this one is. This one's still a little bit tricky to find, so just kind of fly around until you find it. Anyways, you have a little slit right here, which opens up into this pretty good sized room. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, look at the size of the foundation compared to this room. It is absolutely massive. The only downside, it's not as flat in here, so it's gonna be tricky to work with. But if you can figure out how to build a proper turret tower or a turret wall, maybe inside, it'll definitely work for a pretty good location. I would recommend building on the outside because, you know, these are all on video already, so they're already gonna get known. So I would just recommend just kind of defending it as well as you possibly can. Now again, until cliff platforms come out, it is going to be a little bit tricky. But yeah, overall, not a bad rat hole at all. Coming at number 3, this next rat hole can be found at 53.7 latitude and 42.6 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now, I guess the devs of Center decided to keep this rat hole in the game. This is from the old Center. I was shocked whenever I found this. But yeah, a lot of you guys should know where this is. I kind of pushed it up a little bit just to kind of show you guys, but the majority of you guys already know where this rat hole is. It is actually a pretty decent rat hole. However, it's weird. It's like they duplicated it and just put it in here again. I mean, everything is identical on it. It's very strange. But yeah, it's not a terrible rat hole. You have a second little entrance down there. However, I don't think that you can enter. Just with my free cam, it let me. But yeah, coming in here, super tight area. You can maybe put some turrets in here. I mean, it's going to be a tricky build, but it shouldn't be too different from, I mean, the original build with the Center. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad location. The only issue is you can't fit too much in here, and with the clipping, it's going to be a little bit trickier to figure out how to build in here, because back on old Center, I mean, you can clip everything into walls, and now you can't. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit tricky, so I'm not sure what we're going to do with this one if we ever do want to build in here. But yeah, here's that other little entrance. I mean, I don't think you can get in, but you might, so definitely keep an eye out for that one. Coming at number 2, this next one can be found at 38.1 latitude and 14.9 longitude. And then here it is on the map. Now this one can be found at the Ice Palace. Over here, this rat hole is actually pretty insane. It took me a minute to find this, but I finally found this thing. And yeah, you would never even see it until you're literally inside of it, but you basically have to go up in here. There's a little bit of a water glitch right here, but then it kind of goes down and like dives pretty deep in here. I'm just gonna say this now. This rat hole is definitely eventually gonna get patched. It'll take a while, but this one is for sure gonna get patched. Anyways, it opens up into this pretty good sized room, and the reason why this one is at number 2, it is a little bit smaller than number 3. However, the entrance is insane. I mean, if you can figure out how to defend that entrance, I guarantee you nobody's getting into this rat hole at all. It actually keeps going up in here too. It's nothing too crazy though, but this is the main room. And finally, coming at number 1, this one can be found at 48.9 latitude and 32.4 longitude. And then here it is on the map. This one can be found kind of over next to the ramp that goes up from the floating island area. And I'm just going to say this now. This is by far the biggest rat hole I've probably ever found. At least on ASA. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of let the video just kind of do the talking. So, you know, once you enter in, you know, you don't see anything too crazy, right? You turn this corner, and this was actually so big that the view distance couldn't even pick up this entire area. Anyways, I'm going to warn you, there's a little bit of a mesh hole down on the, I believe actually on the top. So I don't know what's going to happen with this rat hole. I'm going to be honest. It might get patched. It might not. But until then, this thing is absolutely insane. I mean, look at the size of this thing. You have unlimited room to work with. If you are a big tribe, get this rat hole. Get this rat hole ASAP. But yeah, absolutely insane rat hole. Tons of room to work with. And look, it even still goes all the way up. But yeah, anyways, that's it for today's video. We hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to leave a like if you're new and hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching.